Hey, this is Jansen, and welcome to the Talking Cover Podcast, the show where we talk about stuff that we find interesting and, of course, hope that you find interesting. And yeah, we top it off with the cover of some popular song that we pretty much just figure out on the spot and end up just releasing it, whether it's good or bad. Just kind of rolling the dice on that. Anyways, in today's episode number, what is it? I think it's only number 3. Man, I have to think about what we were talking about. We review A$AP Rocky's latest album that came out on January 15th. That's Long Live A$AP. We do a cover of Bruce Springsteen's Darkness on the Edge of Town, where we got Jeff's lovely fiance to help us out on that. We look at Lance Armstrong and cheating in professional sports. And finally, we top it off with some ranting about Tickemaster and how much it sucks. And I think we trail off into something else. I don't know. Anyways, we just want to thank you for listening and hope you enjoy the episode. It's important that we look cute while we work on this.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
If we're not looking cute while doing this, it's not worth it.
Do you want to restart the recording then?
What's up?
It's fine, we'll just cut out whatever minute.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Alright, here we say, it's been a minute. Alright, so, this week's album, Long Live A$AP by A$AP Rocky, which we were going to do last week.
Now, was it A$AP Rocky or A money sign op Rocky?
Hey, Joe.
A cash Rocky.
Can you give us a little insight on the name?
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen like interviews with him, and he has like 5 different meanings for it, and it doesn't always have the money sign. So, yeah.
Apparently, it's just kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, it's super interchangeable.
Well, the thing is, I was confused because there's A$AP or A$AP Rock.
Yeah,
A$AP
Rock.
Rock.
And now there's A$AP Rocky.
Yeah. Well, his whole crew is called A$AP Mob.
But so there's no relation to A$AP Rock. I didn't.
No,
know that.
Yeah,
It was just
that's
kind of a coincidence.
That's a complete separate thing.
But the first time...
And his name is Rakim, and his nickname is Rocky, so he's
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky. And then like Ferg, who's like the other guy, is like A$AP Ferg. Like everybody's A$AP something.
So
in their,
that's
in their
why I
group.
was saying...
It's like a clan tag.
Joe was saying, you know,
Clan
like
tag.
Odd Future has a white guy, a random white guy who doesn't do anything in their posse, and I was like, well, I want to be A$AP Reed. I want to be in the A$AP crew, and I just don't know how I go about
A$AP
doing
Reed.
that.
Just call yourself A$AP Reed.
Well, I've already been calling him that since last night.
Yeah.
A$AP Reed.
Yeah, A$AP Reed.
Damn straight.
As soon as possible.
But yeah, the first time Joe, or it was like months ago, and Joe was like, yeah, and it just in passing mentioned A$AP Rocky, and I was like, you mean A$AP Rock? He's like, no, A$AP Rocky. He's this new guy, and now here he is, blowing up.
Like 5 times as big as A$AP Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't this album supposed to come out like a long time ago? I feel like it's been delayed.
It was like late summer. It was supposed to come out. Yeah, but
Alright.
albums always get pushed back though.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell me about it.
All right.
He was actually, it was for clearing samples. That's why he couldn't get this released. Yeah.
Legal issues.
Yeah.
Wow, and also just apologizing in advance if we compare this too much to like Kendrick Lamar or something because we like that album so much.
Yeah, and he's on 2 songs.
And we just
and-
reviewed that a few weeks ago. That's why.
No, we didn't review it, but it was mentioned. It was discussed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Long Live A$AP. First impressions, Jeff. What did you think of it when you listened to it?
Oh, my first thing was like, oh, this is not my style at all. But at the same time, I realized there was a few tracks that I was like, this is really cool. A few tracks I just didn't dig. But I think in general, I liked the album more the less I paid attention to it, if that makes sense. Like, as background music, it was awesome. But when I like just sat there trying to listen to it and like deconstruct it, I didn't really... It wasn't... I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
I understand that. I mean, like when I really sat down, listened to the lyrics, I really just didn't feel that. I don't know. I felt zero connection. Like there was, maybe I'm missing something completely, but there's no story or anything. It's a lot of him talking about himself or what. I don't know.
Joe can explain. It's
Joe,
the ignorant rap thing. Joe, go ahead. Ignorant rap.
Well, yeah, like he actually like at face value, he's one of those rappers that that seems like there's like not that much content going on, but like I don't know, it's like it gets so deep. Like I think that like at first I didn't really like him that much when I first heard his first mixtape, the Live Love.
Yeah, Live Love A$AP.
and I love that mixtape now. But the thing was is that I was like, well, why is everybody so obsessed about this guy? You know, like it doesn't seem like there's that much content, but like his lyrics do get pretty deep. Like he has really great metaphors, just really great rhyme schemes. He's just really technically good, and he's like it's like so effortless, you know, which is why it's just like really easy on the ears compared to a lot of rap these days.
Well,
I think.
I don't know. Wherever he got the beats or the production, I enjoyed it entirely.
Right.
Through that. I mean,
Yeah,
this whole like recent hip hop movement, who's ever doing the production it's really great to listen to.
Yeah, they're blurring the lines a lot between like what is, you know, what can appeal to not only like indie music fans or rock, but also rap. And that's why someone like me, I've been dragged in big time into hip hop now, whereas I just didn't even listen to it for the first 22 years of my life. And now it's like my favorite thing. And like I love this album, and I think and Joe sent me this song a long time ago, and I didn't listen because I don't do things like that. He sent me the song Phoenix, which is the one produced by Danger Mouse, and it's like the best beat I've ever heard.
That's
like,
definitely one of the best songs on the album.
Like it's insane how good that is, and I just think it's like I think the album's impressive because he really flows through a lot of different styles, and it seems like he wasn't like ashamed or afraid to just try pretty much anything, and so the album really shows that, working with Skrillex, working with Danger Mouse.
He even worked with Kendrick a few times.
Yeah, and putting I mean, obviously...
And there's a bunch of guys. There's Action Bronson, Joey Badass, Schoolboy Q, Yellow Wolf. Who else? There's more.
Yeah.
Santi Gold.
Yeah, Santi Gold.
Big Crit.
Titty Boy.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And
that whole new age of, like, those are just, like, all the new age rappers right now that I think are actually really helping the rap game, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, they're actually really progressing it. I'm happy about it.
I mean, I'm trying to remember some of the tracks because I've listened to it a bunch of times. I really like the opening track a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff, you were saying you didn't like it because of its dissonance, and for dissonance.
I didn't like the first track, but I love the second track.
Yeah, Goldie is
good.
Yeah, Goldie was. Yeah, that was the one.
Because Goldie's produced by Hit Boy, who did Backseat Freestyle. For Kendrick. Yeah.
Which we all know is a great song.
Yeah, those 2 beats are like my 2 favorite beats I've heard in a long time.
Well, there we said Phoenix is good, and
Pussy Money Weed, man.
PMW.
That beat is so good. It's the dumbest song.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's one of those songs where I was like,
the beat is so
I wasn't
good.
paying attention. I was like, this is cool, and I was like, that's kind of not that great.
Like Joe
But
said,
I like the beat. I don't know.
The beat.
The beat.
It's all about the beat.
that's one of those songs I think I'd listen to by myself, and I wouldn't play that. You know, maybe not for my parents. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
driving the
probably
car. That's a good song in the car while you're
That's
driving.
probably good advice, though. Don't be like, don't run home to your parents and be like, hey, listen to A$AP Rocky. It's so good. Because there's some things they might not like about it.
There's so much I like about hip hop that I want to play publicly, but I know will be frowned upon by so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that when I'm listening to it by myself or like say with you guys, but then suddenly I have to be so careful of the environment that I'm in.
That's why Macklemore does so well, is because he can be played everywhere. You know, everybody's like, oh, have you heard that new Macklemore? Like my friend's parents like listen to Macklemore. You know what I mean? Like he's just that one guy who's like, oh, let's go listen to Macklemore.
The thing is, like,
He's the new Will Smith.
He's even on Ellen. He just
Big
went on
Willie
Ellen
style.
again. He's been on Ellen twice now,
Exactly.
and everyone just eats it up. It's really cool to see.
And
It's
then-
very interesting, yeah.
But then you can get into that argument, like, is Macklemore real rap? Like, is he really, like, a voice of rap? Because what is rap? Is it, like, you know, the black musical movement? And then it's just, I mean, we're not going to get in that argument, but I'm saying you could make that argument, and then in that case,
But it seems
A$AP.
like he's existing, though, in, like, his own little... Maybe it's just because he's just now kind of blown up, but, like, he wasn't on A$AP's album, which seemed like it brought in a lot of, like, Action Bronson and Kendrick, who are the real up-and-comers. They kind of have this group, and then Macklemore's kind of off in his own little...
He got Schoolboy Q to be on his album.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's some connection there, but I think
Yeah,
a lot of the music he
interesting.
writes goes to different crowds.
Right. So
appeals to
it will
different
be
crowds.
interesting though to see like how much, like, if, you know, Kanye ever does another album, if he is on Kanye, you know, like if he's brought into that group, or if he still just exists as sort of Macklemore, his own little thing.
It would be
I can't talk too much about him because I haven't listened to the album. I don't know anything about his music. And if he headlines Sasquatch, I'm going to be pissed off, but I know it's going to happen. And I'm just
Hey, he puts on a great show.
I don't care, man. Such a waste of a
Puts on
headlining slot.
Yep, puts on a good show.
All right, so we've been trying to come up with some type of rating system. We've, how many babies we would punch in order to listen to this album. I don't think anyone's gonna find that appropriate. So we'll skip that.
That one didn't fly.
Let's skip that. We'll just start. We'll start with a scale of 1 to 10 for now, and who knows where it'll go from there. So Jeff, off the fly, A$AP Rocky, Long Live A$AP. Scale from 1 to 10. What do you give it?
I gave it a 6.
6. All right, Joe, what do you give it?
I give it a 9.25.
9.
Nice.
9.25. All right.
I was going to say I'm going a little pitchfork here, so I'm going to give it some random rating. I'm going to give it an 8.6, and I'm going to try and explain the 0.6, even though it's such a bogus rating. But that's my rating. I'm not going to try and explain it.
All right.
It's not worth it.
I'll give it a 7.9, which is that's what Pitchfork would do. It's like, oh, it's not
It's
quite an
almost
8.
I don't want to give it quite, but I don't want to give it a 7
Yeah,
either because that's too low.
They don't ever give 0.2s or anything.
No, they do. Yeah, I've seen like
I've seen
0.4, 0.3.
They hate Muse, and so they'll always give something.
Everyone hates
they
Muse
hate lots of
Jansen.
All right.
Anyway, okay, so that's the album.
Go listen to it. Not around your parents.
Hello, we are the Bruce. Really? Okay. Hello, we are the Bruce Springsteens, and this is Darkness on the Edge of Town.
Let me not have a heart attack here.
Well, they're still racing out at the trestles, but that blood had never burned in her veins. Now I hear she's got a house up in Fairview, and a style she's trying to maintain. Well, if she wants to see me, you can tell her that I'm easily found. Tell her there's a spot out beneath Abrams Bridge. Tell her there's a darkness on the edge of town. There's darkness on the edge of town. Everybody's got a secret, something that they just can't face. Folks spend their whole lives trying to keep it. They carry it with them every step that they take, till someday they just cut it loose or let it drag him down, where no one asks any questions or looks too long in your face. In the darkness on the edge of town, there's a darkness on the edge of town. Some folks are born into a good life, other folks get it anyway, anyhow. I lost my money and I lost my wife. Them things don't matter much to me now. Tonight I'll be on that hill, 'cause I can't stop. I'll be on that hill with everything I got. Lives on the line where dreams are found and lost. I'll be there on time and I'll pay the cost for wanting the things that can only be found in the darkness on the edge of town. There's a darkness on the edge of town.
Well, did anyone watch his Oprah thing?
I listened to a lot of it.
Actually, I mean, I only got like the highlights of it.
Have like this is the let's talk about.
But anyway, I for one think in that sport, and I don't care, like most people don't care about cycling. I don't care about cycling. But I think in that sport where everyone was doing it, and he made this point, and now I'm not going to defend him because I think he's still a huge asshole. And on that, he went on Oprah and basically tried to pretend that it's like he doesn't. It's like he told himself so much that like he didn't actually do this thing that he actually believes it now.
I just realized that we were talking. Sorry.
And even okay, I'm off my game now.
No, sorry, I stopped it. No, go back. You were on it.
I'm off my game.
No.
Okay, he said it so many times.
But anyway, so I think he actually believes it's like Tiger Woods, and I heard this on sports radio. This similar debate. It's like, these people that are just put up on such a high level. Like I think like Tiger Woods honestly believed the person that did the things that he did wasn't really him. And the way Lance Armstrong was talking during the Oprah interview, he wouldn't even say it was always third person. It wasn't even like, oh, I did these things. It was like these things were done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't fess up to anything really because he never put his name. He never put himself into these things. But
he did try to say that while he was doing these things, he was trying to convince himself that, I've had cancer, I've had to go through this, and, this is okay. I mean...
Yeah, there's some points he makes that I agree with, and certainly the one about it was not a fair playing field, and the only way he could win was to do what everybody was doing. And that, like, I totally understand that. It's just, I think what will always... It's the fact that, like, there was a woman who he basically ruined her life.
Yeah.
And even when he was talking about it, he was not saying, I ruined her life. He said that her life was ruined.
Wait, who is
this?
Who is this exactly?
This is Lance Armstrong.
But who's the woman?
Oh, she was a masseuse.
Oh.
And she either saw something. She basically had to tell what happened, and so Lance Armstrong sued her. And it's just, these people, they're sociopaths. They're just, they just honestly think that they can get away with anything. Roger Clemens is the same way, and he got away with it. But I mean, the dude lied to a grand jury.
Yeah. And
it was some, bogus thing that got the case thrown out. But he was willing to go so far as to risk jail time to protect his legacy. Like, perjury is a major, major crime.
Yeah.
And Bonds was the same way. These people, man, their legacy, and obviously we don't understand that because we can't comprehend what it's like to be as famous as these people. But you like to think that, man, even if I had a legacy, like, I would be, like, I wouldn't risk as much as these people do just to protect that.
The thing is, but they wouldn't even have that legacy if they don't do some of these things. And so they do it, and then they have to do everything they can to protect it.
It is. It's.
Because I don't want to act like, or that we haven't, like, whatever, cheated on something, whether it's like a test something. But it's not like we're cheating people out of money or ruining other people's lives.
In Japanese class, we used to we had what were called kanji tests, and kanji is like the kind of the really like fancy characters and things that you see in Japanese. Like they have a basic alphabet, and then they have kanji, which are like these fancy kind of more Chinese characters. And for these kanji tests, we used to write in between our fingers. we would write the kanji. We would write like the name, and then we'd write the kanji. So we would all be sitting like at our desks with our fingers closed, and then like once the teacher had passed out the test, we'd just be like looking in our fingers. Or it's like the old thing where, I don't know if you guys did this, where you'd write notes on your desk, and then when the test was being handed out, you just kind of like have your arm over that part.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it's like really, you think the teacher has no idea that you're doing it, but you genuinely believe, like, oh, I'm getting away with this. But yeah, that's just kind of an aside.
Well,
with cheating.
So, yeah, man. Too bad Lance Armstrong couldn't, just hide it, something in between his fingers and just. Yeah. But I mean, it was so crazy to the detail they would go into. Like they'd have a guy on a motorcycle just delivering stuff, or they'd just be doing it in a tent right next to all the fans, and they had no idea.
Yeah, that's crazy. It was like, Tiger Woods. People don't talk about this about Tiger Woods. The fact that he actually, was roided out. and he cheated in the sport. I mean, the big scandal with him is what happened with him cheating on his wife, but people don't talk about the fact that he had his it was his trainer or somebody that used to come to his house like once or twice a week and deliver plasma-rich injections to him, which is a legal thing you can do. But you know, you look at Tiger Woods, like that dude blew up, and all of a sudden he was driving the ball like 400 yards all the time. And this guy, who was, I believe, not licensed, was caught trying to flee across the border with like so much human growth hormone in his car, and like he was tied directly to Tiger Woods, and yet they couldn't make a case for it. And it's just strange, you know.
Well, it's so sad to hear this, especially when there's a lot of athletes that probably aren't cheating at all, and they're still on top of the world. I think it was, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it was a woman cyclist who just retired on top, and she apparently was not cheating at all. And then she gave some comments on, you know, Lance's behavior and stuff, but it ruins it for so many people that play fairly and are able to succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I think is kind of cool is that you never hear of this kind of stuff in basketball for some reason. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't think I've ever personally heard.
Do they do drug tests?
Yeah, they do all the time. Yeah.
They don't do it in football though, right?
No, they do.
They do. They don't do. Actually, I think they're the sport. No, I think it's baseball now that's actually going to test blood.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, football is there. There's definitely rampant. That's definitely a problem.
Football's going to happen. It's going to blow up. I think
the thing with basketball is, I just don't know that there's a like miracle drug that would make you as awesome as basketball.
Yeah, because basketball,
those guys are just they are just freaks. I mean, they're just athletic monsters. They're all huge, but you know, there could be it could be though that it's because they're given all this stuff when they're kids so that they grow up to be like 6'10". But that's just me being jealous because I'm only 5'7".
I mean, so then there's been talks of like, should they just like allow something like, you know, EPO or testosterone to be used in bike races, or should they just get rid of it? I mean, I can't see an argument to say make it okay.
I mean, I think they just need to get rid of it overall, because like I look at it from like the Barry Bonds perspective, where it's just like everybody that was hitting those home runs at the time were all doing it. It's like just let him in the Hall of Fame because that's the history of the game during that time. You can't change history. That is the way that it was. So just let him into the Hall of Fame. But now, just make sure you're more strict, so then nobody can do it from now on.
But what about the like real legends who now get passed up because of that?
By the actual numbers?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're dead 50 years, so who cares?
Well, people do care, though.
Yeah. I mean, by the actual numbers, I mean, you can just always remember. Like, it's part of the history.
That was the whole asterisk. Yeah, that was the asterisk.
You can do that, yeah. I don't think that's a bad thing. But, I mean, it's still, like, he should at least get in the Hall of Fame because it was happening during that time in history.
They were cheating.
They
wouldn't.
It's true.
Not everybody.
Pete Rose didn't get in the Hall of Fame.
Brett
I mean, and he didn't even cheat. He just did something. He was just a jerk.
He was gambling.
He was gambling, but he was still like the best. But he didn't get in because he was a jerk.
I'm one of those guys that just always thinks that like I think Pete Rose should be in there. He has like more hits than anybody.
Pete Rose should be in there.
Yeah, he has so many. He has like 4,000 hits.
Yeah, it's like why is he not in there?
Because they didn't like because it was drama behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I know he did extreme douchebag things.
It was when he was a manager too, so it wasn't even when he was a player.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, just athletes who
step up your game, athletes.
Stop being douchebags.
Yeah, be like us.
Stop doping.
Yeah.
Don't be a dope. Don't use dope.
We're not juicing for this podcast.
Well,
you know,
I am, but
Jeff.
We're not drunk or anything.
I may have given Jeff a shot in his ass today. It's possible, but we don't need to go into that.
2 Chainz birthday song, verse 1. 2 Chainz. She got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty. Skr skr, wrists moving, cooking, getting to it. I'm in the kitchen, yams everywhere. Just made a jug, I got bands everywhere.
Oh, I have a kind of an interesting story. Oh, no, it's not that interesting.
No, tell it.
All right, here we go. All right. So now, for the last few minutes, we've been trying to come up with something to talk about, and we don't care. No, Jeff has a story.
This is not an interesting story.
Oh, I want to hear the story.
Everyone wants to hear the story.
Everyone wants to hear the story.
There's no humor in this, but okay. I'm warning you right now. You're going to be like, Jeff, why did you say that?
News.
News.
Here's
the news. Beep, 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 beep.
Go for it.
So,
5,
Holly.
4, 3.
I'm telling
10,
you. You
oh,
can't
9,
count down while I'm
8.
talking.
Tell the story.
So, Holly's...
Okay, now you're gonna tell the story.
This person that Holly knows, this family, they tried... This is not even worth telling. Why am I saying this? They were really bummed out about Ticketmaster because Ticketmaster was selling tickets to the Obama inaugural ball, right? The problem was that they accidentally released the tickets a day early. So everyone that was waiting for the specific day got screwed over because people bought all the tickets a day early.
All right, now Ticketmaster. I could talk about Ticketmaster.
Yeah,
how much I hate
terrible
Ticketmaster.
Something like that happened with Jansen.
Anyway, so this lady that she knows, this is pretty cool. She got put on CNN, just like randomly telling this story, and then she got 2 free tickets courtesy of Patty Murray.
Way to go,
Oh.
Patty Murray.
Way to go, Patty Murray.
Senator Murray.
That's pretty sweet. Well,
Yeah,
all right.
that's
Have you guys ever had any problems with Ticketmaster?
Yeah,
Because I can tell you how many
Ticketmaster's
times.
stupid.
Well, they're trying to. Well, I've noticed a big change is how they're trying to sell tickets. Is they're selling paperless tickets. I'm assuming in an effort to quit secondhand selling of tickets, where people are buying 10 tickets or whatever.
Does that mean you print them out yourself?
Yeah, exactly. So you have to show up with the card that you buy it on.
Yeah, we saw
Oh,
Radiohead.
yeah.
We saw Radiohead. And it was like I showed up. Jansen had bought my ticket, and was it just my ticket?
And Johnny.
And maybe Johnny. Okay, well, you had bought the tickets.
Because we were all sitting together.
And so yeah, it's like we went up to it was Key Arena, and we went up to the ticket entry area, and yeah, that they would like swipe your card or scan your debit card or whatever you bought it on, and then they would just count they'd be like, okay, you and you, so you just go in. We didn't have any tickets; they just based it on your card, which is
I guess I could get behind it, but it's a little inconvenient, especially if you buy a bunch of tickets for a group of people and you all have to show up at the same time.
Yeah.
But I can't. There's nothing more than I hate it than all these people that buy all like the floor level seats for a show and then start selling them on StubHub or eBay
Yeah.
for some ridiculous price. If you're trying to get to a $50 show, I'm gonna sell it for $250. No big deal.
Like, I don't understand how they can't do any more about reselling. Like, I think that should be totally, like... Because I don't understand why the venue owners don't go, like, crack down on that harder. Because they're the ones that are missing out on, like, $200 from these people that are willing to pay that higher price.
That's true, I guess.
it's like people that I don't know how bad it was this Christmas with the Wii U, but I remember when PlayStation 3 and Xbox came out, and there's a limited supply initially with the launch.
Yeah.
And so people, they waited in line, and then they would go in and they'd buy like 8 PlayStations.
Yeah.
And then once they'd all sold out, they knew they could sell them for more because people wanted to get their hands on
Like, that
them.
stuff it sickens me that buy and sell, just like, you're buying things just to sell. I mean, I don't know, I hate
But
that.
it's okay, here's a good story involving a person we all know.
Don't say names.
I won't say his name. I won't say its name. Their name.
He or she.
This person bought Okay, so the Spice Girls were doing a reunion,
I don't even know.
and
Why didn't I get tickets to that?
and I don't think they
Girls.
they didn't
Why
come up
that
here.
should have been a topic.
It was-
Spice Girls reunion.
It was down in Los Angeles, and so this person went out and bought like I would say like 4 tickets or something.
Okay.
4 Spice Girls tickets, thinking like this is great because these things are gonna sell out so fast, and like I'm gonna be able to resell these things and get like a lot and get a lot back for them. And so it was coming towards showtime, and the concert still hadn't sold out. And so, he wasn't even going to go, and like tried to sell them, had them online advertising for more money than they were worth, but just no one was going to buy them because it wasn't even sold out. And so he ended up I think what happened was he ended up running into some woman like at a grocery store or something and just said, "Hey, do you like the Spice Girls?" And he ended up just giving these tickets away and took like a $300 bath basically, thinking like, oh my god, it's the Spice Girls reunion, obviously I'm going to make so much money off of this. And
That's hilarious.
I try to think. Aziz Ansari has a really funny stand-up joke about buying tickets on Craigslist and doing some, sexual act for tickets, and then finding out when you show up at the concert that they're selling tickets at the door.
I remember
It's the worst thing that could happen.
that would be pretty terrible. Yep.
Well,
So I don't make those risks. I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
I would never do it because like if I bought 8 PlayStation, I'd be like, God damn it, I have to sell these now. That would be a huge problem for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't like selling. I don't like I don't even like going to the grocery store. There's nothing that related to errands or
Work of any kind.
or like dealing with people that I like, so I just avoid them altogether. That's sort of my strategy.
All grocery stores?
Well, the grocery store, it's like I gotta get in the car, I gotta go to the grocery store, I gotta be in the grocery store.
Do you just like Safeways more than QFCs?
Definitely, I'm a QFC person.
Oh, QFC.
I go to Top Foods now.
Yeah,
and
top
Oh,
I
no,
never.
What about Whole Foods?
The thing is, it's this thing in my mind where I'm like, oh my god, I have to go to the grocery store. This is gonna take my whole day. I'm basically gonna give. Seriously, it's like the reason I don't do a lot of things is because I keep thinking like, oh my god, I can't. How could I possibly do this and cost myself all this time? Whereas in reality, it would take me 40 minutes to go and do this thing. But for me, it's like, it just seems like, oh, I gotta, basically, so much for tonight, I gotta go to the grocery store.
I guess my weekend's over.
Yeah, it just sort of ruins everything.
That's why I always just go in the middle of the night.
That's
and,
true.
Yeah,
I get it done in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the
max.
best.
I used to go after work when I was working till 1 a.m. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was on
And
my
it's always
way.
that one guy down there.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
That one guy. He's always there.
He makes funny jokes. Like, I was checking out apples one time. I'm pretty stingy about my produce, and I kind of know what I'm doing. So, I'm browsing through, and he comes up. He's like, it's only good if it says "ouch" or something like that. There's some just random joke. Because I was squeezing
and
it.
at 2 in the
he was
morning, that's the funniest
like,
joke.
and I was like, that is awesome.
How do people not know how to use self-checkout yet?
They're not open at 2 in the morning, dude.
They don't allow that.
But also, yes.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying in
In
general.
general?
You
Oh,
go in, I'm
people-
waiting, and people don't know how to use it.
It's
They don't,
pretty
like,
funny.
They don't know how to scan their own card.
Wait, do I put the card? Do I have to do the card at the same time
Do I
that I'm
have to put-
swiping the food?
If I have to put stuff in the bagging area, then they'll take the stuff out of the bagging area early, and then everything shuts
Yeah.
down. Shut everything
Like,
down.
did you bring your own bags? Did you? Yeah. Don't remove. Please put your item in the bag. No, don't just put it in your pocket. It has to know that you put the thing on so you knows how much weight it is. But people are just like, I'm just gonna. Yeah.
And people just don't know how to stand in line for it. It's like, oh,
I'd hate
there's self-checkouts on
That would be
two
such
sides.
a terrible job to be that guy that has
Oh,
to
gosh.
like help people all day.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, I think people are doomed.
Yeah,
I
people
think,
are doomed,
People
man.
are just totally screwed.
People can't figure out the self-checkout.
If they can't figure this out, then so much for space travel.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I want to be on the USS Enterprise.
You guys think that M. Night Shyamalan
Shyamalan.
you think that new movie looks good?
Which one?
The Will Smith one that he's making?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
oh.
most movies, it looks
Wait,
good.
that's M. Night
Earth.
Shyamalan?
After
Yeah,
Earth,
that's
yeah.
an M. Night one.
With Will Smith and his
yeah,
kid?
yeah.
Well,
I had no
After
idea
Earth.
that. They didn't
Yeah.
even like advertise that in the
Well,
trailer.
hey, we
Yeah.
know how good Avatar: The Last Airbender was. So,
Dude, that movie was awesome.
His movies
Don't
are
get
just
Joe
getting-
started on it.
That movie was awesome. Like,
If-
I hadn't even watched the cartoon, and like it was the biggest trip to watch that movie because like it does not explain why there's a flying bison. It doesn't explain anything, and the entire time I was like, yes,
alright.
keep it coming, please.
So next time on the Talking Cover podcast, we will review Avatar: The Last Airbender
All
and get
right.
to hear about all
Oh,
the
God.
genius that M. Night has
Deal.
to offer.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is actually.
It's on Netflix.
I had no
Yes.
idea.
Yes,
It is amazing.
And
Oh my God.
moral of this story: Ticketmaster.
Oh my god.
Get your shit
Oh my
together.
God.
and,
Ticketmaster, don't suck.
people that-
Athletes, don't dope. And what was the first thing?
ASAP.
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 Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Yay.
Peace.